Hello and welcome to the video where I'm going to be showing you how you should be playing Caitlyn properly in teamfight tactics, as many of you have been playing her wrong. Caitlyn is actually best played as a tank and not as a damage dealer. If you're playing her as a damage dealer, she is extremely squishy and she is dying immediately, and that is a big problem. So rule number 1 of tank Caitlyn, you should never put damage items onto your tank Caitlyn. It does not matter if Caitlyn deals more damage. Her ultimate is the main thing you're using, and your ultimate is going to kill. It doesn't matter if you deal 2,000 damage, 3,000, 4,000 damage with your ultimate, or even 1 damage. Because it's going to kill in one shot, and if it's going to kill in one shot, why waste the items? Because if she's squishy, she's going to die immediately. So we need to focus on keeping this girl alive, because she's still got very high damage output, while still being tanky and surviving. So keep that girl alive. Don't waste your damage items on her, because she doesn't need them, because she's still going to kill in one shot. Now, the same thing applies for mana items as well. Mana items are useless on Caitlyn. Yes, they can help her get off that first initial shot, but she has a really long casting time, and if she's really squishy, she can die even before she gets that first ult off from a Blitzcrank or an Infiltrator. So even if she doesn't die immediately, because of that casting time, there's still a limited amount of spells that she can get off during each game or through the first 10 to 15 seconds. So now that we have established that damage items and mana items are useless, let's go on to the items that actually work and you should be using. And these of course are the tanky items. The first item we are suggesting on Caitlyn is the Warmogs. It gives that extra bit of health and helps with survivability, especially during her cast time as she is regenerating that health. Obviously high damage dealers will still whittle that down faster, but if she's ever in a situation where she's up against maybe 1 or 2 tanks, that's enough time for her to get that ultimate off and keep regenerating through the damage of the next enemy in order to get that ult off again. Also, by making her survive and tank all these hits, we are getting all that mana regen per hit, which once again makes mana items useless because she's getting all her mana regen right here, right now from all the people attacking. Now, while health is well and good, we still need to get some armor and some magic resist. And the best item we're going to go with for this is a sword breaker. Firstly, yes, it gives us the armor, yes, it gives us the magic resist, yes, it's only a little bit, but the most important thing about the sword breaker, it gives us that little bit of disabling CC. So once again, we're wanting Caitlyn to survive, to be able to tank shots. Every time she attacks someone, she can disable them. This means that she can outlast the enemy by, for example, tanking the damage of 2 champions instead of tanking the damage of 3 champions. Or, in some cases, tanking 1 champion, where the damage for 2 champions may kill her. And then the final item that we are placing onto our tank Caitlyn is the Bramble Vest. It adds that nice little bit of close AoE damage, which can save her life and can whittle down the enemy while she is casting, so she is still dealing damage while she is in her ultimate. And also one of the main advantages of this is if you have a low health enemy attacking your Caitlyn, that means that our enemy may die from this extra damage from this item instead of tanking that full damage ultimate, saving that damage ultimate for one of the backline heroes, backline champions. Now that is the items, but we are still not done yet. We are going to add more items to this Caitlyn. And you may think there's no items left. However, there are many, and we are going to use our other champions as our items. One of the things we need to do is get Caitlyn to regen more of her health. Now, obviously, we've got the Warmogs, and that does help a little bit, but it is not good enough. We need some lifesteal, and that is where the Celestial champions come in. So, every time Caitlyn's getting wailed on, they're taking down her health. The moment she ults though, she is dealing tons of damage. So if we get the Celestials and get her that extra lifesteal, every time she deals damage, she's regenerating a lot of her health. And if you can get your 3-star Caitlyn, she can regen all of that health every shot of every ultimate. So she fires, regens, fires, regens, fires, regens. And this is where our Caitlyn not only becomes the best tank in the game, but also the best killing machine. But we are not done yet, so by obviously getting all the Celestials, we're also getting that Ash, which helps give us that sniper buff on the Caitlyn. So obviously, after she deals damage with her ultimate, she can health regen, but she's getting that extra damage from the Caitlyn as well to help her. Once again, we don't need damage items because we're getting damage from other champions. Now, the only thing you may be thinking is, we've got lifesteal, we've got health, we've got armor, but we're lacking a bit of magic resist. And that's why we are going to get the Mystic buff. And which Mystic champion should we have? the one, the only Karma. Now, the best thing about Karma is she just buffs other champions, and she is buffing our Kate. She's giving her a shield, and she is giving us attack speed, and obviously, the more stars we have on our Karma, the more attack speed we're getting as well. So once again, we're getting that more damage from the other Ashe. We're then getting more attack speed, which results in more damage on our Kate. So she's becoming even more tanky from the shield, and dealing even more damage. And we're missing one more champion who makes our build just that little bit better. And that final champion is Shen. Shen is giving us the chrono buff because he is now paired with Caitlyn, which adds just a little bit more attack speed and also buffs everyone else. Now, the good thing about Shen is, while he's not giving the best buff to our Caitlyn, Shen is helping our other champions survive, because our other champions are here and they're quite squishy, but once he gets that ult off, he can stop them taking some damage, which means if our Caitlyn does go down somehow, I mean, she can't, she's a god, it does buy time for our Caitlyn to survive if everyone's wailing on them, or if our Caitlyn dies, it gives them enough time to survive long enough to keep dealing damage and secure that game. And now, last but not least, we are going to talk about positioning. Positioning is very important within teamfight tactics. Caitlyn is, of course, the core of our team. However, early on, she's very squishy, so in the early game, we do want to give her some protection. We do want some champions in the way of her and the enemy so that she can survive until we get those items on her. However, once she's starting to get some items, we're just going to leave Caitlyn on her own in the corner. Now, Caitlyn in the corner can actually handle quite a few enemies. So because she's in a corner, there's only a limited amount of melee champions who can get on her and deal damage, which she can easily tank. And while she is tanking these few enemies, everyone else will be tying up the other enemies. Now, once again, we want her to survive. The longer she survives, the more damage she deals, because the more ult she gets off. And obviously here is the first strain of them. The more enemies you can get on her to her early in the game, the more they attack her, the more mana they give her, which means she can get off even more ultimates. And that's all. You have now received all my knowledge and know-how, and you can now become the best tank Caitlyn and dominate the enemy. This is a gimmicky video. Obviously, this is not the best way you should be trying to get up those ranked ladders. But this is a strategy that wins a surprising amount for me, and I thought it would be quite fun to share with everyone. So if you did reach this point and you have enjoyed this gimmicky guide, make sure to like and subscribe, and I may try and do another gimmick guide in the future. Now I'm just going to leave you with some more footage of Caitlyn dominating the enemy. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.